Hi everyone, my name is Claire and I am one of the co-founders of Positively Empowered Kids. I am so excited today to be talking to my wonderful colleague and friend, Jessica Prime, who has created some amazing books for our children to be part of, and it's absolutely wonderful. So hi Jessica.
Hi Claire, I'm really excited. Thank you for having me.
That's okay. Well, it is Mental Health Week this week, and the main theme is kindness. So, who else would I have come on than you?
Two of my favourite things.
Exactly. So, do you want me to just tell everybody a little bit, just a very sort of quick snapshot of who you are and what your company is, what you do?
Okay. Well, my name is Jess. I am a mum, and I suppose it sounds a bit cheeky to say, but I suppose I'm a mental health advocate. Mental health is something that is so important to me. It's something that affects me in my everyday life. So it's something that I think about every day, and it's something that I think we should talk about. So that helps me to spread the message, and I'm also the founder of a Child Author Project.
And the Child Author Project is amazing, and also, I mean, you sort of downplayed you know being a mental health advocate, but it is amazing what you're doing. And Jess, you know, is really good at speaking out about how she's feeling when she's having those rough days. And what she does in her groups is actually empowers other people to be able to talk about their moments as well. It makes you realise you're not alone. And I know for me, it's been a really helpful place to be sometimes, even though I'm a bit of a lurker. I'm in there, and when I need to, I speak up, and it's a really supportive place. So that is obviously a big part of you. But I think today in particular, this is I'll just show you. This is the Child Author Project. This is the book that has just very recently come out. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the books?
Yeah, absolutely. We've done 2 so far, and the themes, to me, that was the important bit about these projects. I want to enable children to become authors because that is something that I wanted to do as a child. But as you find growing up, those self-doubt thoughts, you know, all those little lurking thoughts, they start to creep in. And I didn't think I could do it. I didn't know how to do it. I wasn't invested in finding out how to do it, and I didn't believe that I could do it. So it took me around about 30 years before I became a published author. And it was around about that time that I just realized, because of my mental health, I'd stood in my own way for 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm not the only one. I'm sure a lot of people will resonate with that. And it just hit me that I did not want my daughter to go through that. So I thought, I want to create something that, first of all, gives children the opportunity to achieve what I'd achieved, but at a much younger age. But also, which I think is really important, open the door for conversations about mental health and emotion. And I think if those kind of things, those tools and, you know, those platforms had been available when I was a child, I might be telling a completely different story now. So it was really important for me that the book projects, the themes for the books really encompassed mental health and emotion. And we named the first one Happiness. And I always think that's quite ironic, because as someone who has a diagnosis of clinical depression, happiness is quite an elusive thing for me. So to be able to see the world and to see happiness through children's eyes, it was just an eye-opener just for myself, never mind anyone else reading the projects and the books. And then for the second book project, I really started to think about what helped me. You know, what is the biggest impact to my mental health?
Yeah.
And kindness, it just had to be.
And it's absolutely perfect. And I love, I think it was the first book, wasn't it? It was again, as you know, sort of mutual connection of ours, described it as chicken soup for the soul, but for kids. And I just think that's perfect, because, you know, upon reading the first book, I mean, my daughter was in it as well, so I was very invested in the project as well. But it was a great read for parents as well, and I think that came across.
And it's so much more than I thought it would be when I launched the project. It's almost therapy to be able to see happiness and kindness and these mental health concepts, and just life in general through the eyes of children. It really helps you to take a step back and get some perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, as you say, so it's Kindness Week this week, which is what we're really focusing on. So Kindness was the next book. So tell us about the sort of progress of that and what's happened to that recently.
Well, it was something that I thought up last year. And again, I had no idea that the impact that it would make, with everything that's going on in the world right now. It must have been fate, because the timing for the Kindness book to launch when the world is just in such turmoil, the world needed it, I think.
I think so. I think we all definitely needed it, and again, it's a reminder about, you know, being kind to yourself as well as to others. And what I love about this project for me, and again, you know, you can go into a little bit more detail for us about the sort of content, but the children that kind of get involved, it's not a kind of selection process, you know, it's not about kind of going, oh, who's written the best story, let's pick them over them. So do you want to just elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, that was important to me from day one. I mean, who am I to say you're not good enough to be in this book, you know? And that is the whole point of this project, is to empower children just as they are, to show them you can still achieve just as you are. You can do amazing things just as you are. You can be a #1 best-selling author just as you are. You know, it wouldn't have sat right with me to eliminate children based on any kind of category. This is an opportunity for all children. And that's that.
I mean, it's end of story. And it's, you know, it is very all-inclusive, and it's you know, something I love. You know, you've got children that have written, you know, a little short poem, you've got some that have written stories, and it's just lovely to not have those restrictions and for them to just express themselves. Did you want to read one of them to us?
I will. And it
Put you on the spot.
What I was just going to say, because again, I think that's the magic of the book. By not having those restrictions, you get such a variety of abilities and writing and ideas and concept, and it all comes directly from the children. It's totally authentic. You know, you've got maybe a 15-year-old writing who has life experiences, who has opinions, who, you know, thinks a certain way, and then you've got the absolute innocence of a 3-year-old who doesn't have those life experiences but still has an opinion on what it means to them. And the book project Kindness was the first one that my little girl Sarah took part in, so I got to see the project from the parents' point of view as well as obviously from the founder's point of view. And what Sarah wrote, it's just so sweet.
It's lovely. It's so lovely.
And when I wasn't sure whether she would want to be in the book, or whether she was really old enough, or whether it would be a good idea. But when I just said to her, Sarah, what's kindness? And she said, kindness is yellow, kindness is a colour, kindness is the best. And I just thought, oh, I've got to put that in.
I mean, it just says it all, doesn't it? It's
beautiful.
It is wonderful. And you know, I mean, for me, I've been very much with my daughter being involved with both of them, you know, and because of, I guess, the work that I do, I'm very conscious that she does get lots of opportunities, but I try my best not to force her to do anything. And sometimes it's hard because you can see these opportunities, but I always sort of give her a choice. And, you know, so when the Kindness book come out is, do you want to be part of this one? I'm an ambassador for it, so I'm, you know, biggest cheerleader. But if she didn't want to be part of it, then that's fine also. And you know, that will be the same going on.
Yeah, I always say to parents, don't force your children. If they don't want to take part, that's fine. There'll be more projects. But if they do want to take part, don't try and mold it. Let them take the lead, because they have a lot to say.
Yeah, yeah. And so what sort of achievements has kind of come out of the book, since because they're best-selling authors, aren't they, all the children in both the books? So how many authors is that now that you've made bestsellers?
Well, since we've launched, we've created 254 #1 best-selling authors, and that's children aged 3 to 15 from all over the world. You know, we've got authors in the UK, we've got authors in America, we've got authors in Australia, Pakistan, the Netherlands, really all over the place. And what I should say as well is that they're international bestsellers, because we also hit the #1 spot in the Australian charts, which just blows my mind, because
Oh, I didn't realise that.
I always wanted to go to Australia, and now the book's doing really well over there, and I've still never been there.
Oh well, that's on the cards once travel's safe again to do so. But I mean, what I loved again about the last book, I know we're slightly restricted at the moment, is that the children were just offered so many opportunities off of the back of this, weren't they?
Yeah, and I never expected that to happen, but the children have been in newspapers, they've been in magazines, they've been on the radio. I mean, I'm in my 30s, and the thought of going on radio terrifies me. But we've had child authors on the radio, we've had them on the television. It
Yeah,
just blows my mind, and what an amazing thing to experience as a
yeah.
child.
It is amazing. And I remember when a load of them went down to the radio studio that were kind of in the Nottingham area, and it's all around the country, and they were all signing each other's books, and it's the little touches that I think that you've made this project so special, and again it kind of all resonates, the kindness kind of coming through. So when we as parents had to sign the contract, there was also an opportunity for the children to sign it as well, to really kind of immerse them in the kind of full experience of it. And I just think those little details made a difference to everybody.
Yeah, you hit it on the head there. That is exactly what I wanted it to be, an experience. It's not just about getting published and that's it, we'll never hear from you again. It is an experience and it's a journey, and I want them to really be inspired by it. I want them to carry it with them, and for it to really make an impact to their confidence and their self-esteem, because it absolutely should.
Yeah, I know lots of them, their schools have bought the books and stocked them in the library for them, all that sort of thing. It's just that kind of, that real sense of achievement, isn't it? It's important. And we've had a lot of kindness again shown through it. I'm just thinking about the people that have sponsored places.
Oh yeah.
So it has been able to open up places to other children as well.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people see the value in it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's don't know how much detail to go into with it, but to actually be part of a project like this, it costs the parent £20, and all that is doing, Jessica isn't making anything certainly from that amount of money. It feeds back into obviously the publishing, the illustration, the proofreading, all of that sort of stuff, and then places are given away to certain children who who might not be able to access the project otherwise, and then you also give a big portion to a charity as well. So you're a kind person, so that is going to resonate. So, and do you want to tell us about the next book?
Absolutely. I'm really excited about the next one, because it wasn't actually my idea, and I think that's what's special about it. I had a few ideas of what I wanted to do with the next book, but it was when I really spoke to the parents, and so many of them suggested it, and I just thought, my goodness, I can't believe I didn't think of that. And that is the concept of family, because it's such a diverse thing. No two families are the same. And I really think it's important that we give children a platform to really explore what is family? What does that mean to you? What does family look like to you? And I just think it's a lovely opportunity for them to really share with the world, this is what family is to me. And I'm so excited to see what they come up with, because they always surprise me with every project. I'm always surprised, so I can't wait to see what they come up with.
You must be so excited when the emails start coming in with their work and reading them as they come in. And I think
I cry, I laugh.
Oh, bless you. It's very therapeutic, I can imagine.
It's lovely.
And I think, families as well, at the moment, there is a lot of focus on families, because we are literally in our households with our direct family. And then you've also got the element of family who you can't spend your time with at the moment. So I actually think this is actually going to become a sort of really good snapshot of this particular time as well, but whilst sort of remaining positive and looking at all the great things about it, and in terms of their emotional well-being, kind of really reinforcing the support networks and the people and the community around them. So I think it's a fantastic topic.
I think it's going to be quite therapeutic as well, because I know from I'm missing my family as well, so I absolutely get it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess what I wanted to just end on really is, so we've got Mental Health Week at the moment, all about kindness. You are fantastic to have agreed to collaborate with Positively Empowered Kids on it this week. We've got a little competition running on our page. Would you like to tell us about that?
Absolutely. So what I'm going to be doing is sponsoring a child to take place in the family book. And what they need to do is, well, do you want to tell them what they have to do? And then
Sure. I'm just trying to see if I can remember exactly. So what we want you to do is just to write a little bit about what family means to you. You can write about kindness, or you can write about families. So this, don't need to put too much pressure on yourself. If you decide for your child to write about families, this isn't a submission to go into the book. So whoever wins that will get contacted separately, and you will have the same amount of time to produce that piece of work. So there is no pressure on this, but we thought it would be great to do a little writing challenge for the children. So throughout the week, get them to submit to us on the Facebook page, on Messenger, or at positivelymempoweredkids@gmail.com. Send in your writing submissions, and we will do a draw at the end of the week for everyone that's entered. And hopefully somebody will walk away with a place in the next book.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be essays, it doesn't have to be in depth. It's just a really great opportunity to be mindful and to write something positive, and to open the door for conversations as well. Why not have that conversation? What an opportunity. If they're writing about it, ask questions, get involved, have the conversation.
Yeah, definitely. And the theme of kindness and families, as we say, goes very much hand in hand. So a really great activity for the kids to get them thinking. And where can we find you, Jessica, for people that want to get involved with the next project?
We are all over the place. So we've got our website, which is childauthorproject.com. We're also on Facebook, Child Author Project, and you can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. So we're everywhere.
You're everywhere, and you will be seeing posts throughout this week as well. You may already have seen some about the Child Author Project, and Jess will pop on and tag herself and put her links in so you can find her, and that will certainly be on the competition post as well. And maybe we could post throughout the week some of the excerpts to recognise some of the brilliant kids that have already written as well. So if you want to be involved with this, if you want to follow the pursuit of kindness and follow Jessica's example, then please do get in touch, be involved with the book. It is absolutely incredible. And is there anything else that you'd like to mention at all? I think we've covered most things, but
no, I don't think so. I think we've covered everything that I would have liked to say.
Brilliant. Okay, lovely. So hopefully we can get a whole new batch of children and some returning ones to be bestsellers again. And thank you so much for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I will see you soon. Bye.